US president tweeted "We will never forget" alongside a video showing footage of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks spliced with a speech by Representative Ilhan Omar. "Some people did something," she is seen saying, in between footage of planes hitting the Twin Towers and people fleeing the buildings. Republicans have accused her of downplaying the attacks, but Democrats have largely rallied to her defense, saying she had been quoted out of context and some accusing Mr. Trump of inciting violence against her and Muslims. Here is how the row developed. U.S. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar won a representative seat for Minnesota last November, becoming one of the first two Muslim women ever elected to the U.S. Congress. Her family originally came to the U.S. as refugees from Somalia, and she is the first congresswoman to wear the hijab. Despite being a newcomer to Washington, this is not the first time Ilhan Omar has made headlines. She has been accused of anti-Semitism over comments she made about Israel and pro-Israel lobbyists. After being rebuked last month, including by Democrats, she apologized and said she was listening and learning. The congresswoman has also raised the alarm about anti-Muslim rhetoric surrounding her, in response to a Republican poster that showed her alongside the Twin Towers. Just last week, police arrested a 55-year-old man in New York State for allegedly calling her office with a graphic death threat in which he reportedly labeled her a terrorist. What did she say? The "some people did something" quote was from a speech Ilhan Omar gave to civil rights group the Council on American-Islamic Relations, CAIR, on 23 March. In the 20-minute speech she discussed issues affecting the community like Islamophobia and the recent mosque attack in New Zealand. The comments in Mr. Trump's video were taken from a point she made about the treatment of U.S. Muslims and the aftermath of the 11th of September attacks. Here's the truth: for far too long we have lived with the discomfort of being a second-class citizen and, frankly, I'm tired of it. And every single Muslim in this country should be tired of it. CAIR was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties. After the Washington Post fact-checked the statement to clarify, CAIR was actually founded in 1994. A spokesman for Ilhan Omar told the paper that she misspoke and meant to say the organization's size had doubled after the attacks. How did the row develop? Her speech began getting attention on 9 April, when a clip was shared by Texas Republican Representative Dan Crenshaw, who described her phrasing as unbelievable. Conservative media outlets, including Fox News, then started discussing it in depth. Ronna McDaniel, chair of the Republican National Committee, described the congresswoman as anti-American. Ilhan Omar responded by describing some of the comments as dangerous incitement, given the death threats I face, and comparing her remarks to ones made by former President George Bush. Ilhan Omar responded by describing some of the comments as dangerous incitement, given the death threats I face, and comparing her remarks to ones made by former President George Bush. The cover proved divisive. Some on social media praised it, but others heavily criticized the use of 9/11 images. Then, on Friday, President Trump posted the video of Ilhan Omar. It is currently pinned to the top of his account and has been shared tens of thousands of times. What was the response? Many social media users responded by using a "Stand with Ilhan," which trended worldwide on Twitter on Friday. CNN showed the clip in discussions, but then presenter Chris Cuomo apologized for airing it. MSNBC host Joy Reid also refused to show it. A number of high-ranking Democrats, including many in the running for the 2020 presidential nomination, have come out to criticize Mr. Trump and defend Ilhan Omar. Elizabeth Warren accused the president of inciting violence against a sitting congresswoman. Bernie Sanders referred to disgusting and dangerous attacks against Ilhan Omar. Senators Amy Klobuchar and Kamala Harris both accused the president of spreading hate. Kirsten Gillibrand did not defend Ilhan Omar's comments but also called Mr. Trump's rhetoric disgusting. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, said Mr. Trump was wrong to use the images but also suggested Ilhan Omar had been dismissive of the attacks. One reply to Ms. Pelosi, by film director and frequent Trump critic Ava DuVernay, which said Ms. Pelosi's comment was not enough has been liked thousands of times. Rashida Tlaib, the other Muslim serving in Congress, and another Democratic Congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, have both called on senior Democrats to do more to support Ms. Omar. Responding directly in a series of tweets on Saturday, the Congresswoman thanked people for their support and vowed that she did not run for Congress to be silent.
You